an association that pushes the student body's voices to the forefront, we should aim to make the strides past just acknowledgement to those who continue to fight for their right to be recognized and respected as the original stewards of this land. I ask you all to dedicate time and care and personal education to advocate for justice alongside the indigenous peoples. Uh, Now let's go into roll call. Senator Chaudhry,
Here.
Senator Claro, Senator Gutierrez, Senator Harder,
Here.
Senator Hepburn,
Here.
Senator Zhang, Senator Jones. I know you're here. Senator Lucan, Senator Lee,
Present.
Senator Manala, absent. Senator Manikova,
Present.
Senator Malhis, Senator Oleton, Senator Ono, Senator Pasher.
Present.
Thank you. Senator Riss, Senator Shurkin. Uh, I'm here. Senator Sundarajan, Senator Than,
Here.
Senator Toledo,
Here.
Senator Wang,
Here.
and Senator Wahidullah.
Here.
Wonderful. Welcome, you guys. Now moving into A2 excused absences. Are there any excused absences? Seeing none, acceptance of proxies. Are there any proxies present at this meeting? Seeing none, we now move into item B, external reports. B1, Chancellor's Representative. UCPD Representative. GSA Representative. University Center Governance Board Representative, my apologies. And IVCSD Representative. Seeing no representatives, we now move into item C, new business. So the first item of new business is a bill to update the legal code of the Associated Students Pyramid Fellowship Program. I will briefly yield chairship to Senator Jones, or Second Pro Temp Jones, so I can speak on the bill, as well as Senator Manikova. For all bills under new business, the authors are welcome to speak on their bills once we get to them. So I'll yield chairship to Senator Jones.
Excuse me?
Uh, who spoke, please, and please be recognized.
Okay, well, this is Senator Harder. I was hoping that you would recognize me, Chair.
Oh, I did not see your hand. Yes, Senator Harder.
Um, I was just wondering if we should maybe do public forum before, just because we have people waiting in public forum.
Sure. If it is okay with you all, I need consent to move to item D, public forum. Is there consent to, is there a motion to move into public forum?
Consent.
Consent. Wonderful. Consent. We are now in item D, public forum. All right, let's see. Are there any speakers here for public forum? Senator Harder, I see your hand.
Excuse me. Can you repeat that? I'm sorry.
I'm asking if there are any speakers here for public forum.
Yes. Eddie Barajas is here for public forum.
Wonderful. Yes. All
Senator
right.
Sussman.
Yes, Senator Pasher.
Um, I don't believe we got a motion to move. I believe you just said consent. I don't think anyone made a motion.
For Robert's Rules of Order, we simply just need consent to amend the agenda.
Got it.
Please correct me if I'm wrong, parliamentarian.
I think you're right, Evan.
Sorry, you cut out. What was that?
I think you're correct.
Wonderful. Thank you. All right. And yes, Senator Lee, I'll get to you as soon as I hear from Senator Lee. Eddie. Go ahead.
Lee? Um,
Henry usually asks for unanimous consent. I don't know if that's an important distinction, but just if you were going to move to things, I think he usually goes ask for unanimous consent, and then we all say consent.
That
It
is
might just be an unimportant distinction, but yeah, just wanted to mention.
wonderful. That is technically point of order. I will accept that. Um, seeing, hmm, let's see. I'll redact my previous question. Do we have unanimous consent to go into public forum?
Consent.
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 Wonderful. Thank you guys. And thanks for going with the flow of this. All right, now that we're in public forum, with unanimous consent, I will welcome Eddie Barajas to speak. And I'll give you the speaking agreements. You have 3 minutes to speak with 3 minutes for Q&A. Please state your name, pronouns, and enunciate, but refrain from yelling. Speculation of a senator's intentions is prohibited and may result in you being removed from the ability to speak on the floor. Please know that this meeting is being recorded. You may speak on any issue, whether it is on the agenda or not, and please include a content warning if it will be graphic. You may only come up once, and you may choose not to answer any questions. Did you hear the speaking agreement? Wonderful. You have the floor.
Hi, everyone. My name is Eddie Barajas, and I'm here to request for $5,000 in funding for a special event that we're planning on October 6th. I'm working with Josie Penix, and we're starting a new campus organization dedicated to starting a student-motivated speaker series on campus for free for the student body. We have an exciting opportunity to host California Congressman Salud Carbajal for an interview-style event at Campbell Hall in this fall to kick off our speaker series. It'll be educational, free for all UCSB students to engage with, and with their representative that represents California and Santa Barbara. Normally, we would go through F&B for this process. However, because our organization has yet to be registered as an RCO in the fall for a full quarter, we're bringing this request directly to Senate. The $5,000 will cost the labor costs for Campbell Hall, basic audio and visual equipment, and any additional security measures that may be required in coordination with Salud's team. We're currently working with Campbell Hall's team and congressional member Carvajal's team to finalize all the logistics. We've got the date secured, and we're just seeking funding so that we can put on the event. I'm open to any questions.
Cool. Thank you, Eddie. Are there any questions for the speaker? Seeing none, the speaker's time has elapsed. Thank you. Appreciate you coming in.
Yeah, thank you.
Are there any other speakers here for a public forum? Seeing none, can I now have unanimous consent to move back into item C, new business?
Consent.
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 Wonderful. Thank you, guys. Seeing that we are now in new business again, the first item is the bill to update the legal code of the Associated Student Peerman Fellowship Program. I'm going to now yield chairship to Senator Jones so the authors can speak on the bill.
I now assume the chair. Senator Sussman, you have the floor.
Thank you. Hi guys. I don't need to introduce myself. So I was a Peerman Fellow last year, and this is a wonderful opportunity for freshmen, for incoming students at UCSB to get introduced to AS. And the fellowship program itself in legal code right now, as it stands, is very uncoordinated. It's very unclear how to read it. And it simply could use a lot of updating. And there were a lot of issues with honoraria. I'm just kind of reiterating what the preamble of what this bill does is. But I'm introducing this bill to not only recruit more students into AS, to clarify what exactly this fellowship does and the timelines that are expected. But it's also a way for students to learn how our association works. And that way there can be leaders who start out as freshmen and hopefully can become leaders one day in the future of our association. So I'll pass it back to the chair. I yield back to the chair. But that's what this bill is intended to do. Thank you.
Okay, would any other authors like to speak on the bill? Senator Menakova?
Just wanted to commend Senator Sussman's great work on this. I know he's been working really closely with Leanne, the president's office, who's usually in charge of, the Pearman Fellow. And I was also a Pearman Fellow, and I definitely see this bill as like a way to almost standardize it. The Pearman Fellowship, just because I feel like a lot of people, different fellows had really different experiences. We also, just wanted to streamline this and make this, something that is actually beneficial to students and actually hold other AS organizations accountable on, just giving work to their fellow and treating them with respect. Also, we also highlighted just like how important, Kelly Pearman is to the Associated Students, and, how great she was, and just really honoring their family and their work.
Okay, thank you, Senator Manikova. I now yield chairship back to the first pro tempore Sussman.
Thanks, Senator Jones. So to move forward with this bill in the legislative process, I would welcome a motion to refer this bill to, in my mind, the Outreach Committee makes the most sense. Yes, Senator Wahidullah.
Hi, yeah. Before we go into motions before to any referring to any committees, but is there still opportunity to still are we still able to still ask questions or have still mode of discussion since we haven't made any motions to refer it yet?
Yeah, I can welcome discussion before there's a motion.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask a small minute question if the chair would permit and stuff.
Yeah, I permit.
Okay, I just wanted to ask, just kind of skimming a little bit more over this in regards to the Pearman Fellowship stuff, just seeing some stuff about in regards to honoraria and stuff. I've seen some particular things given that like the office must provide $300 for like obviously a Pharaoh's honoraria. Do you know how possibly this could somehow maybe impact maybe smaller BCUs of tighter budgets and stuff? And do you think that might deter some particular BCUs from participating, or just maybe ones a little bit more difficult, be it like budgets or something? Only the minute concern I had so far and stuff.
I'll yield chairship back to Senator Jones because I'm technically not supposed to be partial as the chair. So I'll yield back to Senator Jones if she would recognize me to respond to your question.
I now yield chairship. Senator Sussman, you may respond to the question.
Thank you, Senator Jones. So the way that the honorario system would work, Senator Wahidullah, is it basically they would be employed essentially, or not employed, but they would be getting honoraria from the office which accepts them. And I don't foresee any issues with BCUs being deterred, considering there were BCUs in the offices last year that were giving Pearman Fellows honoraria. And that simply just wasn't standardized. So what we're doing is making it more equitable, essentially giving all Pearman Fellows the opportunity to apply for honoraria and notifying them through this bill that they are eligible for honoraria or $300 of honoraria upon completion. Because there were offices last year that were giving honoraria, it's simply not fair nor equitable. I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, it does. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Sussman and Senator Wahidullah. Senator Harder.
Yes, thank you for recognizing me, Chair. I didn't have anything to speak on in regards to this bill. It looks pretty good. I was actually just motioning to accept Seaholm Park as the proxy for Senator Noah Lukin.
Okay, do I have unanimous consent to move back into A3, acceptance of proxies?
Consent.
Thank you.
Don't we have to move back into acceptance of proxies on the agenda?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, please?
Don't we have to move back into acceptance of proxies on the agenda and get consent for that first?
Yes, I just asked for unanimous consent.
Oh, I thought you were asking for consent to accept a proxy.
No, move back into A3.
Sorry.
No worries. Okay, do I have unanimous consent to move back into A3?
Consent.
Thank you. I welcome any motions.
I motion to accept Seaholm Park as the proxy for Senator Noah Lukin.
Is there a second?
Second.
Is there a call to question?
Call the question.
Okay, motion has been passed. Senator Sussman, would you be able to please type that into A3? Okay, do I have unanimous consent to move back into new business?
Consent.
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 Okay. Now I welcome any motions for the bill to update the legal code of the Associated Students Pyramid Fellowship Program.
Wonderful. Sorry, Senator Jones, can you please repeat the last thing that you just said? My computer just cut out.
I would welcome any motions for the bill to update the legal code of the Associated Students Pyramid Fellowship Program to be referred to the Outreach Committee. Senator Chaudhry?
I make a motion to refer a bill to update the legal code of Associated Students Pyramid Fellowship Program to the Outreach Committee.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion has been seconded. Is there a call to question?
Call to question.
Thank you, Senator Harder. We are now in discussion. Do I hear consent?
Consent.
Thank you. Motion passes. I now yield chairship back to First Pro Tempore Sussman.
Thank you, Senator Jones. The next item is the bill to update ECU election code. Would the authors like to speak on the bill?
Yes, I will. Okay, so sorry guys, I was getting my document.
For further notice, just for future reference, you guys please be recognized by the chair. Sorry. Senator Jones, you're recognized.
Thank you. Do I have permission to speak on the bill?
Yes, you do.
Thank you. Okay. So today I'm speaking on a bill to update BCU election code, which I co-authored with Senator Sussman. This bill was written in response to the recent compliance investigation in TikiCom's spring 2025 election process. It became clear that the ability to grant election extensions for BCUs is not actually codified anywhere in legal code, leaving future BCUs vulnerable to uncertainty and procedural invalidity. And so this bill addresses the gap by clearly defining what counts as starting and completing an election process, explicitly outlining the Senate's authority to grant extensions, and clarifying what options are available to BCUs when things don't go as planned. It also streamlines the consultation process for bylaw amendments, cutting down on redundant language while maintaining transparency and accountability. The goal is to prevent any confusion like what we saw past spring and to give BCUs a fair and legally sound pathway forward if delays or issues rise. So I'm happy to answer any questions, or if Senator Sussman would like to speak on this issue as co-author, I request that he yield the chair for that purpose.
Senator Jones, I think you covered all of it, so I feel no need to yield the chair. Thank you. Is there any debate or discussion?
Yeah, because I'm a hello, sorry.
Senator Tan, please be recognized. Senator Tan, go ahead.
I'm so sorry. Apologies. Because I'm assuming this will end up with the liaison committee in regards to internal affairs. And I just wanted a little bit of clarification to exactly what you guys changed. I understand like the gist of it. And I know you guys took out a lot of like jargon that was kind of unnecessary, but in terms of like the core process, is it really just like outlining the application process and like the interview process, and then what else? And then just kind of outlining like not punishments, but repercussions if you don't follow the process, because I think they weren't there beforehand. I yield.
Senator Jones.
Thank you, Chair. I wouldn't say it's necessarily repercussions. It's just allowing more mobility for them to be able to request an extension, because we didn't have the authority codified in legal code to do that previously. So now it gives them different options very clearly of what to do if something arises, things happen. It is during the spring quarter at the very end, people are busy with finals, and this is just to be able to, yes, it does like change a lot of things, but there was a lot of wording that was very contradictory and made it more difficult. So it did not outline the process for initiating the election cycle and what that actually meant. So this is really just to clarify it for the BCUs.
Senator Fan.
Yeah, no, this is great. Thank you. This is not really necessarily about the legislation, because I think this is really important. I think we definitely need to improve something like this in terms of just how the legal code looks. I was just wondering how much of it is a problem of the actual procedure and how much of it is a problem that the BCUs don't know the procedure and they don't adhere to it. And then no one tells them that, because it's like they have the procedure and maybe they just like don't ever like look at it and no one tells them. And I don't think it might not even be like a procedural problem. It might be like at the like knowledge level. I don't know if that helps. Yeah.
For the sake of Robert's Rules of Order, I'd like to keep things pertaining to the topic, specifically just the bill. So Senator Jones, you may respond in relation to the bill.
Thank you. I think it's a bit of both, to be honest. I think there was a lot of ambiguity with legal code itself regarding this, and regarding the bill, this is just streamlining the process so that they know where to go to find the information, and it lists every single step very clearly.
Thank you, Senator Jones. Senator Wahidola, you're recognized.
Oh yeah, sorry, my mic was a little bit miscommunicating. But yeah, I still think Senator Then had a pretty valid argument towards that. I think that communication is still very important long-term wise when it comes to this whole entirety of things. But just want to say thank you guys again. I think this is still, like Senator Then mentioned, a really good applicable bill that can definitely help just overall with the entirety of the process of less like more transparency when it comes to this. But I guess I wanted, after looking over this, some more specific questions when it comes to, I guess, the retroactive extensions you guys mentioned specifically about, because it does look overall just some more minute clarifications on legal code. But do you have any more better elaboration of like what the protocol could be if a BCU requests a retroactive extension and the Senate might possibly deny it? Would that maybe possibly make the BCU completely dissolve, or does COC automatically take over? Because I'm just, again, a little bit more concerned when it comes to like the forward beginning towards this legal code process if it harms in any way. But yeah, feel free to just answer that question.
Senator Jones, you're recognized.
Yeah, so the point really isn't to deny them an extension. This is supposed to make it a lot easier for BCUs. We're not supposed to make it harder. We just need to be able to approve it and have a clear deadline on when the elections are going to be finished, so that we can appoint them during the summer session. If for some reason it does get denied, it would be sent to COC.
Okay, that helps a lot. Thank you.
Senator Wahidola, please be recognized for future reference. Thank you both. Is there any further discussion on a bill to update the BC election code? Seeing none, is there a motion to refer this bill to committee? Senator Wahidola, you're recognized.
Okay, motion to refer, let me look at this. Okay, motion to refer bill to update the BC election code of this sorry, it's like a little bit hard to see, but motion to refer a bill to update BC election code to liaison committee.
Wonderful. Is there a second? Senator Tawdry.
Second.
Wonderful. We are now in discussion. Senator Than.
Yeah, since we're in discussion, I may talk, right?
Yes,
Yeah, you're recognized. I mean, the parliamentarian in the chat said something that I'm not sure if we want to address, like how, because he said there might be a loophole in the legislation. So I'm not sure if he wanted us to address it right now or maybe later. But that's it.
We are in discussion for the motion itself, not in discussion of the bill. So I would say if you have any concerns with the motion, then now is the time to speak. But seeing that we just had discussion, this can be discussed in committee if passed. Is there any further discussion? Is there a call to question?
Call the question.
Question has been called. Do we have unanimous consent to refer a bill to update the BCU election code to the liaison committee?
Consent.
Consent.
Seeing that there's unanimous consent, the motion is referred to liaison committee. We are still in new business. The next item is a resolution to establish the temporary Department of Legacy Gauchos Discovery and Feasibility Committee. Would the authors like to speak on this bill? Senator Pasher, you are recognized. You have the floor.
Good evening, senators and everyone that is in the meeting. It's good to see you guys. Good to see your faces. Regarding this bill, it's a bit lengthy and wordsy. There is a supplemental document attached if you look at the document tabs, which you are more than welcome to take a look at. I'll just be kind of going over it briefly. Essentially, this is a resolution to establish a temporary committee that will help Senator Manikova and I navigate the process, the extremely complicated and confusing process of establishing a department, a new department for AS, as kind of a subsect or just a new entity. And as we all know, it's summertime. We're all busy. We have our commitment to Senate, but we're also, college students at UCSB, and we have our own lives to live. So I believe that a committee to look into the feasibility of this project is necessary, as it is a big project. I don't think that big projects should be wavered or limited by the size that they are. I think that senators should be able to shoot for the stars with their ideas, especially in summer projects, and summertime is a great time to take up some hefty projects. So this resolution kind of just goes along the lines of that. Per the supplemental document, just to give you guys a little bit of a TLDR, I'll read from the supplemental, if that's all right. Just very quickly. The resolution creates a temporary committee to explore the feasibility of a permanent Department of Legacy Gauchos, DLG, a unit within ASUCSB dedicated to alumni engagement, institutional memory, and student alumni mentorship. The language of the bill encourages swiftness by outlining the dissolution of the committee through its findings. And with that, I will pass the torch to First Pro Temp Sussman.
Thank you, Senator Pasher. Senator Manikova, would you like to also speak on this bill? You are recognized. You have the floor.
Yeah, just wanted to commend Senator Pasher for this bill too. She's worked really hard on it. I won't touch up too much, but I just really wanted to highlight, these legacy gauchos. I'm currently in Sacramento interning, and I've been meeting assembly members, like staffers, and other like political advocacy, like lobbyists, that are all like gauchos, and they all worked in AS. And when I had coffee chats with them, they said you have to be built different to be a part of AS. So it's just really this committee is just really accomplishing that goal to connect these successful AS alumni with students that are seeking to work in their fields in the future. And yeah, just this to see if it's feasible and build on systems that the UCSB has already established would be like a great step towards that. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, senators. Yes, Senator Harder, you're recognized.
Yeah, I just wanted to thank both of the authors of this bill. I think it's a brilliant idea, and I think that the findings are going to be extremely insightful and something that I hopefully encourage future senators or us, if it's within our power, depending on the time frame of this thing, to actually utilize in the future. I think it's a great idea. I think it's a really good idea. There is a something similar that the UCSB, I don't know if it's the administration operates. It's like a student mentorship program where you can email previous alumni. It's something, it's very similar to this, but it's much more scaled down than what I assume this is going to be. But I would definitely encourage you guys to look into that, or encourage the committee to look into that in some capacity. I'll give you guys more information on it later, but yeah, I think ideas like this are brilliant, and it just goes to show that you guys are thinking not just for yourselves, but actually representing the students and their needs. It's really, really good. I like this. I yield, by the way. My bad.
Thank you, Senator Harder. Senator Menakova, I see your hand. You're recognized.
Yeah, I just wanted to like address that. I think Gaucho Networks, has like an AS like alumni group chat, but it's like very dead. I've reached out to people. So like the point of this committee isn't really necessarily to establish anything yet. It's to see like what steps AS can do to, whether that is, within ourselves or like help UCSB like establish something more permanent and actually like connect the people together. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Senator Menakova. Senator Patcher, you're recognized.
Kind of a point of clarification. Can I respond to the parliamentarian in the chat, briefly?
Yes, technically, senators can respond to point of clarification, or you can respond to the parliamentarian. Yeah,
If I may be recognized by the chair.
you're recognized.
Okay, so I think that is a great question, and I'm glad you asked it because I believe the resolution, the words are slightly confusing. That's why I provided a supplemental document. The technicalities of it is what is confusing about it. So this committee, this temporary committee, this resolution is not working towards it's not the end all be all of the department. It's looking into if this department is feasible. So your concerns your concerns may very well be true that it's outside of postgraduate recreation programs, out of our Associated Students jurisdiction, but that would be the duty of the temporary committee to find out and ultimately report back.
Wonderful. President Metzger, we're technically in new business. I'll recognize you, but we are not in I3 yet. But I'll recognize you.
Thank you. Hi, guys. I haven't read this resolution in full yet, but I just want to say that I am in support of having strong relationships with our alumni, especially our AS alumni. I have a director of alumni affairs in my cabinet who I just appointed, and I would recommend that she be a part of this committee. And I think in her legal code, it talks about working with staff to like update the AS alumni like database, which I don't know how much that has been updated in the past. And then also working with the Alumni Association to do things like AS alumni reunions. So I would love for the Director of Alumni Affairs in my cabinet to be involved in this. Thank you.
Thank you, President Metzger. Senator Wahidullah, you're recognized.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to holistically take too much time and stuff like that. Just wanted to say thank you so much, Senator Thatcher, Senator Menakova, for committing towards this project. I think it's a really good initiative and stuff because similar to what President Metzger mentioned, I think just having holistically all collaborations between us and our using our branch of leadership to support and associated students is very commendable. And simply wanted to extend like an invitation if you ever need some help and support when it comes to creating the feasibility in the committee. All other communities are more than willing to help support with that as well as individuals too. Whenever if you need any resources or anything you like, just wanted to reach out and stuff. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Senator Wahidullah. Is there any further discussion on the item? Seeing no further discussion, I think the best course of action is to table the resolution for the next Senate meeting when we have more attendance. So if that is okay with the authors, is there a motion? Is there such a motion present? Senator Wahidullah, you are recognized.
Yes, sorry, apologies, Chair. Can you repeat the specific motion you're mentioning about?
Yeah, I would welcome a motion to table a resolution to establish the temporary Department of Legacy, Gauchos, and Discovery and Feasibility Committee to the next Senate meeting, which will be on 8-20, so August 20th. Senator Wahidullah, you're recognized.
Okay, this motion to table a resolution to establish a temporary Department of Legacy, Gauchos, Discovery, and Feasibility Committee to the next Senate meeting on August 20th.
Wonderful. Senator Chaudhry. Sorry, is there a
Second.
Wonderful, thank you. Being that there's a motion and a second, we are now in discussion. Senator Wang,
Call to question.
question has been called. Do we have consent?
Consent.
Or
Consent.
is there any objections to the consent? Seeing none, the motion is tabled. All right. Yes, Senator Wahidullah.
Yes, I'd like to add something to new business. Just quickly, motion to add the bill to update the legal code of the Office of the President onto the July 30th agenda.
Can you rephrase or amend the motion to say motion to amend the agenda and add a bill?
Okay. I motion to amend the agenda and add the bill to update the legal code of the Office of the President onto the July 30th agenda.
Wonderful. Thank you. Seeing there's a motion to amend the agenda and add a bill to update the office of the president. Is there a second? And I'll get the correct phrasing on there.
Second.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Senator Than. We are now in discussion. Thank you. Yeah, sorry, you are correct. Parliamentarian, you are correct. We do need a 2/3 vote to amend the agenda. We will go into a hand vote. So being that the motion is moved and seconded, we are now in motion for a hand vote to amend the agenda. For all of those in favor, or for aye votes, please raise your hand until calculated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. There are 8 ayes. For noes, please raise your hand. Abstentions? abstention. There's one abstention. Okay. Um, with that being said, the motion passes. Sorry, guys. I'm learning as all of you are at the same time. Okay. We are now that the bill, I'll add the bill to the agenda. So if you guys could please stand at ease for just a moment, that'd be greatly appreciated. Okay. The if I could ask the parliamentarian and the attorney general if I'm within Robert's Rules of Order and this is the correct action taking place, I'd greatly appreciate some confirmation.
On your motion?
If the motion to amend the agenda is correct.
Yeah, you're fine. I mean, you guys can just do like the regular motion with consent. Like with Robert's rules, you always have the option to object to the consent and put it into a hand vote. That's like the point of it. You can do a hand vote if you want. It's up to the chair's discretion on how they want to record the vote, but you're fine just doing consent.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Okay. With that being said, the next item on the agenda is a bill to update the legal code of the Office of the President. I'll welcome the authors to speak on the bill. Senator Jones, would you like to speak? Seeing none. I'll briefly yield chairship so I can speak on this bill.
I am assuming the chair.
Wonderful, thank you. So this bill is pretty straightforward. The bill says it does what it does. This bill was at the request of President Metzger, and it's basically just updating language pertaining to each of the officers' roles within the ASOP's office. It's not fully, it will be sent to committee or liaison committee where it'll be further refined and be put into work with President Metzger's office. I yield back to the chair.
Thank you, Senator Sussman. I yield chairship back to Senator Sussman.
Yes. Okay. Is there any discussion on this item? Okay. Parliamentarian Sam. Sorry. Being that the motion did pass, are we still fine? I'm sorry, guys. I'm still learning here. Yeah. President Metzger, you're recognized to have the floor.
Thank you, and thank you for adding this to the agenda today. I'll just highlight the main changes of the bill for the legal code of the Office of the President. So two of the main changes are adding the Academic Affairs Commissioner and the Facilities Commissioners to sit in the ASOP staff. These two positions are members of the President's Cabinet, and typically members of the President's Cabinet who don't chair their own committee, such as Director of Alumni Affairs and the CFO, sit on ASOP staff. And so these two positions who either don't currently have a staff, a committee that they chair, or the committee that they chair is eventually going to be dissolved / has been inactive. Because of that, they're now going to sit in the ASOP staff to have more involvement and accountability. And then additionally, I'll be adding special projects coordinators to the ASOP staff, and the number will be at the discretion of the president. And this just allows more flexibility and a capability for the president to have support to fulfill projects and platform goals that they see as necessary. So those are the main changes, and then throughout are just some small adjustments to various positions, edits to grammar, things like that. Pretty standard. Thank you.
Thank you, President Metzger. Is there any further discussion on this bill? Seeing none, I think it's appropriate to refer this bill to the liaison committee. So is there such a motion? Senator Wahidullah, you're recognized.
Okay, 1 second, I'm just trying to fix this. Okay, there. Okay. Motion to refer a bill to update the legal code of the Office of the President to the liaison committee.
Wonderful. Thank you. Is there a second? Senator Wang.
Second.
We are now in discussion of the motion to refer the bill to update the legal code of the Office of the President to liaison committee. Is there any discussion? Yes, Senator Toledo, you're recognized.
Call the question.
Question has been called. Is there is there any objection to the call to question? Seeing none, is there consent?
Consent.
Consent. Seeing unanimous consent, the motion is passed and referred to liaison committee. Is there any further new business? Seeing no further new business, we now move into item E, the acceptance of the agenda. Is there such a motion present? Yes, thank you. Senator Wahidullah, you are recognized.
I'm sorry, this is more of a point of information. Just before we come in regards to the agenda, are we able to, according to legal code, when it comes to the bundle and approve of appointments, can we simply vote on them first, or is it simply just motioning to accept the agenda?
I need to double check. Being that we are not technically at quorum of a regular Senate meeting. Holly, this is a question for you. Are we technically allowed to approve appointments and resignations today, since we are not at the quorum of regular?
Yeah, I think I might refer the final call to that to Attorney General Iden since he's here. So in my opinion and understanding the policy, and I could look at it again to refresh my memory, I don't know that it says anything about appointments or minutes. My inclination is that it would be fine. I think maybe the policy raises issue more with larger financial items, or maybe some pieces of legislation. So my inclination is to say that it's fine, but if I want to keep calling you Senator Iden, if Attorney General Iden has any conflicting recommendations or information, then I can defer to him. But my initial thinking is that it would be fine to do so now.
Attorney General Iden, if you have confirmation, that'd be greatly appreciated.
I would consider that routine business. It's organizational. Personnel is considered organizational. You're fine. But just to reiterate, when it comes fall, you guys are going to need all of your summer agendas approved. So like technically, legally, like quorum is 50% plus one. That's our constitution. So you guys are, summer Senate's like a weird one. The legality of it is a little questionable as well. But all business now, it isn't necessarily completely set in stone and final until fall when you have an entire body, or if you have a Senate that has 50% plus one of your actual voting membership. But yes, sorry, jumping around, but you're fine to approve appointments right now.
Wonderful. The Attorney General Iden. Senator Than, I saw your hand.
Yeah, just a point of information. If I wanted to object to one of these appointments, would this be the right time? Okay, got it.
We'll get to appointments and resignations later. We are under action item E, acceptance of the agenda. Is there a motion to accept the agenda? Senator Toledo.
Motion to accept the agenda.
Thank you, Senator Toledo. Is there a second? Senator Wahidullah.
Second.
Seeing that the motion has been moved and seconded, we are now in discussion. Senator Jones.
Call the question.
Question has been called. Is there any objections to the call of question?
Consent.
Seeing consent, the motion passes. We are now in action item G. Actually, we are now in item G, action items. This is simply just a administrative motion that needs to be passed today per the request of Internal Vice President Lala. So if there is a motion to reallocate approved Black Women's Health Collaborative commitments made in the winter and spring 2025 quarters to the Office of the UCSB Office of Black Student Development from residual funds from their fiscal 25-year budget, it would be greatly appreciated if there was such a motion present. Is there such a motion? Senator Than.
Yeah, motion to reallocate approved Black Women's Health Collective commitments made in the winter and spring 2025 quarters to the Office of UCSB Office of Black Student Development from residual funds from their fiscal, sorry, Melanie's name is in the way, fiscal year 2025 budget.
Wonderful. There has been a motion to reallocate approved Black Women's Health Collaborative commitments made in the winter and spring 2025 quarters to the Office of UCSB Office of Black Student Development from the residual funds from their fiscal 25-year budget. Is there a second? Senator Wahidullah.
Second.
Seeing that the motion has been moved and seconded, we are now in discussion. Senator Chaudhry.
Call to questions.
Question has been called. Or is there any objections to the question? Seeing Senator Wahidullah, your hand. Or do you wish to be recognized? Wonderful, thank you. Seeing no objections, is there consent?
Consent.
We have unanimous consent.
Consent.
Consent. Wonderful. The motion passes. We are now in item I3, unit reports. Here's the report speaking agreement is in pursuant to section standing rules, section F, clause 5, is the president's cabinet report, or is there a report from the president cabinet? All right, seeing none, we are now into executive director's report. Seeing none, we are now in item I6, directive officers report. Sorry, executive officers report. I apologize.
Hi, I can give or can I talk?
Yeah, go for
Okay.
it. President Masker, you're recognized.
Fantastic. I can give you guys a quick report on what I've been working on this summer. It's good to see everyone again. So some of the main things that I've been up to, I just filled my office and my cabinet, and I am also, one of the main things is I'm planning the AS1 leadership retreat. Save the date was just sent out for that. It's going to be Sunday and Monday of week 0, so that's September 21st and September 22nd. yeah, the save the date has gone out. Please mark in your calendars. Attendance is mandatory, and I hope all of you will be there the whole time. And more information about the schedule and RSVPs will be coming soon. Another date that I'd love for you all to put in your calendar, which I will be sending an official save the date for probably on Friday, is the AS kickoff event. So this is going to be hosted by all the executive offices and the committee on committees. And that's going to be the Friday of week 1, so October 3rd. And it's going to be a really great opportunity for all of AS to come together, show what we do, table, free food, music, all the things. And I would really strongly encourage the Senate to have a table at this event. So believe that would be like outreach committee, but maybe make some plans to get a tablecloth, get some materials together on how students can come to the Senate, get engaged, speak at public forum, things like that, because this is going to be a really awesome opportunity to do that student outreach. Some other things I've been working on are the updates to the Peerage Fellowship Program, which you guys talked about today, short-term and long-term improvements to the AS main space. And I'll just take this as an opportunity to remind you all that it is a shared space and it's our responsibility to clean up after ourselves. We are all adults here. We should be able to do that. So whenever you're in AS main, just don't forget that. Don't leave food in the fridge for too long. And make sure to keep the windows closed in your Senate office because there are animals and they will come inside if you don't do that. So definitely be wary of that. Don't leave food out, things like that. I'm working on some other kind of internal things, like I've been working with COC to improve and reinvigorate the quarterly chairs meeting structure. And I've also been continuing collaborations with Standing Together Against Sexual Assault on their Raise the Bar project that addresses the link between alcohol consumption and sexual assault. And then I also reviewed applications and made nominations for judicial council openings, which has been, which I notified the liaison committee about. And something else that I wanted to address right now is the notice from President Drake about the ban on boycotts that target a specific country. I just want to bring that all to your attention if you haven't seen anything about that yet. And I also just want to let you all know that I am working with the other UC presidents to communicate with the UC Office of the President about this matter and encourage better communication and collaboration for things like these that come up, as well as making sure to emphasize the importance of student government autonomy and financial autonomy. So yeah, that wraps up my report, and I will be taking questions if anyone has any.
Wonderful. Thank you, President Metzger. Are there any questions? Seeing none, we now move into, oh, yes, Senator Pasher.
Am I recognized?
Yes, you're recognized.
Okay. Hello, President Metzger. Thank you for coming tonight and giving your report. I was just wondering if any of the meetings that you're having with any of the other UC presidents are open to be sat in on, or are they private? I'd be curious to join one if that is something that's available.
Yeah, so as of now, everything that we've like the coordination between us has been informal, but there will soon be an official meeting of the UC Council of Presidents. This includes all 9 undergraduate presidents and plus all the graduate student presidents. And so that will be like the official body, like the UC Council of Presidents, that will start meeting over the summer. I'm not actually sure if this is open to the public. I can check on that and get back to you all.
Wonderful. Thank you. Are there any further questions for President Metzger? Seeing none, thank you for coming today, President Metzger. Really appreciate all the work that you've been doing. We now move into I-7, Senator Representative reports. Seeing none, we now move into item I-8, administrative reports. All right, wonderful. We now move into J, committee reports. Are any committees wishing to give reports today? We'll start with Standing Committee on Finance. Are there any representatives? Seeing none, we now move into item I2, Standing Committee on Outreach.
Wait, am I recognized, Chair?
Yes, you are recognized, Senator Harder.
Thank you. We don't actually have any reports. I just wanted to make it clear so there was no ambiguity, but we're good for now. Thank you. I
Wonderful.
yield.
Thank you. We now move into J3, Standing Committee on Liaison. Yes, Senator Wahidullah.
Hello. I don't specifically have any legislation or report in written form to discuss about today. I'll just give like a small, just minute report specifically. We'll be starting, I believe, our meetings next week and stuff. And currently right now we're going to be beginning trainings around 5 on Friday and stuff. And currently right now, as of in our current action items for the entirety of the summer, so far we've been completing our recruitment process. We've completed our tracker process, and so far currently having updates and interactions between staff and BCUs, and simply coordinating a better just pilot program models before the fall quarter starts, and also have more not only with the liaison committee, but overall better engagement just with the Senate body between all the entities, and starting to promote more events for the fall, promoting more things just to hopefully to communicate just with all entities better. And I'll probably send a better report on next opportunity or meeting soon. But just want to give update that we'll be starting meetings next week, and we're starting just our pilot programs this summer in between the fall. But yeah, that's about all.
Wonderful. Thank you, Senator Wahila, and thank you for your work this summer. We now move into J4, Standing Committee on Advocacy. Are there any senators wishing to speak? Seeing none, we now move into J5, group projects and other transparency, or sorry, temporary committee reports. Are there any representatives or senators wishing to speak? Wonderful. Seeing none, we now move into appointments and resignations. So you can see all the appointments, resignations on here. Is there any discussion or motion for the appointments and resignations? Yes, Senator Than, you're recognized.
I'm so sorry, there's an announcement right now. Since we're in discussion, I do have some questions or concerns about the Senate Liaison Committee appointments and resignations concerning the resignation of our chair. I was told that with the resignation of our chair, I would be appointed as chair. But I recognize that one of our other senators in our committee, Senator Wahidullah, has just been doing so much work, and she's more suited for the chair position, just given the AS work that she's done and prior connections, and how she's already she made our 17, I don't know if anyone has seen it, but she's made our 17 page strategic plan. And I was just told that she's not allowed to directly be appointed to become chair. And I just wanted clarification on that, because regardless, we're going to make her chair if it's this quarter or if it's the fall quarter, which was when I was told we were allowed to do it. I just feel like it's kind of pointless that if we could do it now instead of me being appointed and then resigning and all of that. Thank you.
Yeah, I can answer your question, Senator Than. Per Standing Policy 9 in legal code, it is the way that succession of chairship for each committee is vice chair succeeds the resignation of the chair. And in that case, you would succeed the chair for the summer quarter. But since since committees are now on quarterly rotation, it would effectively mean that you would be chair for the summer, and we could reconsider in fall. But I hope that answers your question. I'll recognize Senator Harder.
So I was under the impression that that Senator Dan would be assuming that the position obviously would be that chair spot, and then if Senator Than chose to object, then the next option would be for the next possible, like it is possible for senators to simply a motion to appoint someone else to that position. So like the IVP gets the premier option of like the first option of choosing who gets to appoint. But if those persons decide to object or if those ones get denied, then then it doesn't say anywhere in legal code that someone else can't make a motion to appoint someone else, if that makes sense. So I think Senator Sussman kind of answered the question, but to hit the nail directly on the head, I think that's the answer to your question, Senator Than.
Thank you, Senator Harder. I can give a recommendation, or technically, to remain impartial. There's two options that we can do here. One is either bundle and approve all appointments today, and it stays with Senator Than as chair for the rest of the summer and Senator Wahidullah as vice chair, and we come back to we relook at the chairship of liaison committee in the fall quarter, or the alternative today is we bundle and approve the rest of the appointments with the exclusion of the Senate Liaison Committee, and we table it to the next meeting, effectively having time for Internal Vice President Lala to make those decisions on his end, as I'm not at the jurisdiction to have that change. So I'll welcome Senator Wahidullah to speak. Yes.
Yes, just wanted to make a small point of information or question. Could possibly AG Iden could possibly clarify about the specific matter before we go into any further amendment motions and stuff?
Yes, I welcome Attorney General Iden to speak if he's willing to do so.
So just can you reiterate the question to me?
Senator Wahidullah was just asking before we make any motions on the item, if you could clarify that what I've been saying is correct thus far. Is that what you were asking, Senator Wahidullah? Yes, Senator Wahidullah, you're recognized.
Not specifically what I was asking about. Just wanted to clarify entirely of the specific process when it comes to special circumstances. Is this if the current appointed person of chair objects towards considering chair, do they have the full obligation right to simply just say no, and simply the Senate can then, upon that, entirely discuss about just voting about another considerable position of chair? Or does the Senate have any say in the matter to this, or just kind of overall clarification?
Yeah, Attorney General Iden, you can respond.
So I'm just going to briefly like outline the process for you guys. As most of you guys probably already know, if you wanted to do chairship, you had to get the internal vice president conducted an interview process. If you wanted a chairship, you engaged in that. And so the only person who can appoint chairs and vice chairs is the internal vice president. Senate cannot unilaterally select their own chairs. So when it comes to your question on if the person doesn't want to take the chair, or actually I'll step back for a second. So say the chair resigns. The vice chair does not automatically become the chair. They just assume the duties of the chair until a new chair is appointed. Ideally, the vice chair is the second choice, so you would appoint them in most scenarios, but the vice chair does not have to take the chairship. In the same sense, Senate could just choose to confirm the appointment and make the vice chair chair, but that wouldn't make a lot of sense if they don't want it. It's like, why would you guys choose to appoint them? So if they don't want it, I would recommend not confirming it. In this sense, I think you should just bring it back to the IVP. You can approve all other appointments and resignations if there's any on the agenda and just come back to it until it's clarified. But at this point in time, if the chair wants to resign, you could confirm that resignation. But the vice chair would assume the duties in the meantime. But if you don't want to chair, you don't have to.
Thank you, Attorney General Iden. Before I recognize you, Senator Toledo, I would suggest a motion to strike the appointment of Senator Than as chair and the appointment of Senator Imam Wahidullah as vice chair for Senate Liaison Committee under appointments and resignations. yes, I'll recognize you, Senator Iden. Or not Senator Iden, Attorney General Iden. I apologize.
I'm not trying to overstep here, but I wouldn't necessarily recommend striking the appointments. You could just leave them on the agenda, and when you have more information, come back to it. Just so it's a little more procedurally correct, so you're not like making a decision right now without consulting the IDP.
Wonderful. Thank
So
you.
you can just not, you honestly don't have to do anything or just table them to the next meeting. You can accept the resignation, like I said. But I wouldn't necessarily recommend striking them in the meantime. But you won't be able to appoint Senator Wahidullah as the vice chair right now, because technically Senator Tan would still be the vice chair. If that makes sense. If you guys have any other questions, let me know.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? I saw your hand, Senator Toledo.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna make a motion to bundle and approve all the appointments aside from the liaison committee.
Can the motion be something along the lines of motion to bundle and approve all appointments and resignations with the exemption of the appointments to the Senate Liaison Committee? I can give that to you in writing if you'd like.
Yeah, that'd be dope.
Wonderful. I will send that to you over Zoom. Give me 1 second, you guys. I really appreciate all of your guys' patience going through all the rocks and rolls of this. So let me type this out.
Chair, may I be recognized?
Yes, Senator Harder.
So I motion to just bundle and approve all of the appointments / resignations as is.
Is there a second? Senator Wahidullah.
Yeah, I can see second.
Since the motion has been moved and seconded, we are now in discussion. Senator Chaudhry.
Call to questions.
The question has been called. Is there any objection to the question? Since there are no objections to the question, the motion is approved. Okay. Let's see. Motion. Okay. Appointments and resignations are approved. Now we are in for adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn? Senator Wahidullah.
Oh, apologies. I thought my hand was still raised. Actually, yeah, my bad.
Senator Harder.
Yes, I motion to adjourn this meeting at 19:55.
Okay. Let the agenda record 1955. That's 7:55 p.m. Senator Wahidullah.
Wait, actually, object. I apologize. Actually, I don't approve about accepting the entirety of the agenda of all appointments. I'd rather just can I rescind my motion for that previous second?
No. The motion has passed, so we would need unanimous consent to move back into item G. Holly, I'll let you speak.
Yeah, I was just going to say for any motions that have already passed, the recommended or Robert's Rules of Order kind of approved motion would be to reconsider a previously approved motion. So if anyone on the floor and the chair recognizes that motion, you all can then motion to reconsider that. But if you're also making changes to the agenda, you'll want to have those as separate motions as well. But for something that's already passed, you'll want a motion to reconsider a previously passed motion.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks, Holly. Is there unanimous consent to move back into item G, appointments and resignations? Do we have
Consent.
consent? All right, seeing consent, um, sorry, I meant item M. I apologize. We are now back in item M, appointments and resignations. Is there a motion to reconsider the motion to bundle and approve all appointments and resignations? Senator Toledo.
Motion to reconsider the motion to bundle and approve all appointments and resignations.
Is there a second? Senator Than.
Second.
Seeing that the motion has been moved and seconded, we are now in discussion. Is there a question? Senator Wang.
Call to question.
Question has been called. Is there any objection to the call to question?
Consent.
Seeing none, do we have consent for the motion?
Consent.
Consent. Senator Toledo, is that reflecting consent?
I was point of information, I guess. What is this motion for?
This motion is to reconsider the motion to bundle and approve all appointments and resignations.
Then consent, yes.
Wonderful, thank you. So what we're doing right now is effectively, to make this clear for everyone, we're effectively we're taking away the previous motion, so that way we can rework the language for Senate Liaison Committee, just to keep everyone in the loop. Seeing consent, the motion passes. Is there now a new motion? Holly, please correct me if I'm wrong, but we'll now move into a new motion to reflect the proper language, to exclude Senate Liaison Committee, if that's what the Assembly would prefer.
Yes, correct. The floor is now open for a motion to be made regarding item M. So whatever that is for.
Attorney General Iden.
So correct me if I'm wrong. You just did a motion to reconsider the previous motion?
Correct.
All right, so you guys are going to be in another vote for that motion. You're reconsidering the vote for that motion. So the ideal, another way to have done that is to just motion to strike, or like motion to strike the motion, which voids it, and then you can redo it. But if you don't want to approve you don't want to approve that motion, you don't want to approve the appointments, you're going to vote no. It's a little convoluted at this point in time.
Is the proper avenue now to the motion would be to now vote no in the previous motion?
Yeah, so like it's just like it's a weird spot you guys are in. This is where like the bureaucracy of like Robert's rules kind of gets in the way, where it's like if you don't want to, you're voting again to bundle and approve all appointments. You don't want to bundle and approve all appointments, I'm assuming, or for there's some reason, and so you're going to vote no, and then you could motion again to bundle and approve excluding. Yeah, if that makes sense.
Okay, so we'll now go to a motion to bundle and approve.
Yeah, you could also, I might need to double check this. You could also motion to amend, but I need to double check. Give me a moment before you go.
Okay. Please stand by, everybody. Appreciate it again. As I mentioned, I appreciate you guys going through the rocks and rolls with us and having your patience. It's a wonderful first time chairing. Let's see.
Okay, so you guys are back in discussion on the original motion. So at this point in time, you could amend it. So it would just be another motion within the motion to make any amendments you guys want, and then once that happens, then you'll be back in discussion again. You can do a call to question, finalize it.
Okay, so I would like, is there a motion to amend the previous motion to reconsider, or a motion to amend the previous motion to bundle and approve all appointments and resignations as is. Senator Toledo.
Yes, I would like to do that. However, I think potentially having that language would be very helpful.
Yeah, I will give that to you. Sorry, I'm just reading through parliamentarians' report. Okay. Let me give you that language. It'll be motion to amend the previous motion to bundle and approve all appointments and resignations as is to let me get the proper phrasing. I'll double check with Holly real quick. Please stand by, you guys.
Point of order, I'm sorry. I think the most recent comment from the parliamentarian says that we can't be doing all of this. That he said we have to move to new business, if I may so interrupt. He said that it's all void. Or am I wrong?
I'd like to double check with Attorney General Iden and Holly, please. Yeah, Attorney General Iden, you're recognized.
You guys are fine.
Okay, thank you. Senator Toledo, I just sent you over the motion. Let me double check with the Attorney General and Holly real quick to make sure that this motion is all set in stone.
Yeah, that looks good to me.
Wonderful. Attorney General Iden, does that suffice?
I believe so.
Yes, Senator Toledo.
Thank you so much, Devin. I really appreciate it. Motion to amend the previous motion to bundle and approve all appointments and resignations as removing as is and adding with the exception of Senate Liaison Committee.
Wonderful. There has been a motion to amend the previous motion to bundle and approve all appointments and resignations as removing as is and adding with the exception of Senate Liaison Committee. Is there a second? Senator Chaudhry.
Second.
Seeing that the motion has been moved and seconded, we are now in discussion. Senator Than.
Yeah, so that means we're not approving the current chair's resignation then?
That is correct.
Okay, why are we doing that?
The best way to in my mind, the best way to approach this is to exempt the Senate Liaison Committee from being in the bundle and approval, and we can do a separate motion to approve the resignation of the chair and leave the appointments for the next Senate meeting. Seeing that we are still now in discussion, is there a call? Senator Harder.
Okay, so just to just to clarify, if the chair decides to resign, which we would be effectively approving in the previous motion that I made, that would mean that the vice chair, the new chair would be Senator Tan, and then the vice chair would become Senator Wahidullah. And based on what Attorney General Iden said, that if someone decides to basically resign, then if someone decides to resign, and then the duties of the chair would fall to the vice chair. So if you're looking at all of the variables that we have at hand, we have a chair that is no longer willing to do the chair position. We have a vice chair that is no longer that has made it clear that she doesn't want to take on the chair position. So then the liaison committee would be effectively run by a person who does not want to do that job anymore. So if you go with the motion that I suggested, then you're at least putting one person who is capable, who wants to do the job, in at least the vice chair position, which means that the liaison committee will at least be like de jure run by people who want to do the job and who are capable of doing the job. So I hope that all makes sense, and I hope I'm interpreting it all correctly, but that's why the motion that I put forth, I think, is the best way to go. And next week, or whenever we meet again, if the chair, the vice chair, and all stakeholders in this question have met with the IVP and decided that they want to rearrange the positions, then so be it. But that means that until then, if we go with what I said, officially at least, there is a person who wants to do the job and who's capable of doing the job, who has stated that they want to do the job, that's going to be in at least a position to do the job. If that all makes sense. I yield, by the way.
Thank you, Senator Harder. Is there any further discussion? All right, seeing none, we need to call a question. Has there been a call to question? Senator Toledo?
Call the question.
You can't call the question on your own.
Oh, okay. Disregard.
Is there a call to question? Senator Fan, yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm not finishing this discussion, just so that I can make it clear. We're removing the liaison stuff we're tabling it for a different meeting where we can talk with the IVP and we can get that settled. So right now, the chair is not resigned and I'm still vice chair. Is that correct? If we go into call to question and it gets approved.
Yes, that is correct, but that doesn't mean that's effectively the title and role responsibilities that you guys have. That doesn't mean that you can't do the work that you guys are willing to do. You'll effectively keep the title, and this will be done at a different time. We could also accept the resignation, as you see, Attorney General Iden is saying in the chat. We can accept the resignation as a separate motion in item M. Senator Fan.
All right, call the question.
The question has been called. Is there any objections to the call of question? Seeing none, the motion passes. All right. Now, I think we can also at this point do a motion to accept the resignation of Victoria Lee as chair. And from there, we can move out of appointments and resignations. Is such a motion present to accept the resignation of Victoria Lee as chair of Senate Liaison Committee? Senator Wahidullah.
Second.
We need a motion.
Oh, sorry. Motion to accept the resignation of Senator Victoria Lee as Liaison Committee chair.
We have a motion to accept the resignation of Victoria Lee as the chair of Liaison Committee. Is there a second? Senator Toledo.
Second.
The motion has been moved and seconded. We are now in discussion. Is there a call to question? Senator Wang.
Call to question.
The question has been called. Is there any objection to the call to question? Is there consent for the motion?
Consent.
Seeing consent, the
Consent.
passes. The motion was seconded by Senator Toledo, I believe. Is that correct? Wonderful. Thank you, guys. The appointments will be discussed at another meeting with Ivy Puella. We will now move into adjournment. Before a motion, again, I'd like to say thank you guys for going through the rocks of this meeting. I appreciate it. It hasn't been the easiest in terms of language. So, with that being said, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting? Senator Chaudhry.
I make a motion to adjourn this meeting at 8:13 p.m.
There has been a motion to adjourn the meeting at 8:13 p.m. Is there a second? Senator Wahidullah.
Second.
The motion is moved and seconded. We are now in discussion. Oh, no, we don't need discussion for adjournment. I apologize. All right, meeting adjourned. Again, thank you guys. Thanks for making the time, and I appreciate you guys going through the bumps and roads, the rocky road of this. So if you guys have any questions, please feel free to stay on.